Hello and welcome to the AP Music Theory exam. For the following questions, please dictate all notes being played while providing a full Roman numeral analysis, coupled with figured bass symbols while your proctor stands up and calls you names while slapping you in the face.
AP Music Theory is kind of a scam. It's hard, it has a lot of obsolete content material, and most colleges don't even accept it as credit anyway. Hey connoisseurs, most of y'all know that advanced placement courses are college-level courses given by College Board, the lovely non-profit company that makes tens of millions of dollars in profits. I don't know. Most people take AP courses either to gain college credit or to show colleges how much riz they got, baby!
Hey ladies, how's it going? Yep, pretty beautiful day indeed to be showcasing off some of these right here. Oh yeah, you like that, huh? But what about some of these right here? Oof. Oh yeah, but you know, nothing looks quite right without a strong core like this. Ooh. Oh yeah.
Okay, but in actuality, they can be super helpful in allowing college students to finish college quicker, hopefully being less in debt from student loans. Because as we all know, student loans plus depression equals your mom. Ooh, got him. Oh, that's it, I'm out, please. But there's the normal AP classes, and then there's AP Music Theory. Oh boy, here we go. If y'all have taken the class, which, likely is only musicians in the first place, you'll understand the struggle this class can be. AP Music Theory is described by College Board as giving the opportunity to learn, to recognize, understand, and describe the basic processes of music. You'll develop skills by listening, reading, writing, and performing a wide variety of music. Translation of this BS: prepare to suffer and cry until all you see are sounds permeating around you while you have a never-ending seizure writing in 300 years past. Before we even get into the class, seriously? A wide variety of music? Most of the listening is just a single classical instrument. Even then, it's the single solo piano, while the very few excerpts we get of group pieces are all still in the classical style. There is no variety, no inclusivity of any other music genres at all. And performance? What? It's are we counting sight singing as performing now? Do you ever find yourself with nothing to do on a Friday night thinking,
Yes, indeed. I say, you know what? I feel in the mood for a show tonight. Why not go down to my local concert hall and see some marvelous sight singing for 2 hours?
Now, I took several AP classes over my high school career, basics such as AP US History, what the cool kids might refer to as A-Push. And also English language, English literature, kind of just, the basics. And while the AP Music Theory isn't normally considered to be one of the top 10 hardest AP classes, and the ones I just mentioned are usually on that list, it was still the hardest exam I ever took. The content can be broken up into several categories. First, we have your typical cold theory, which is what's a key signature? Knowing vocabulary words like appoggiatura, anacrusis, and just it's kind of really knowing stuff in general. Second is dictation, where someone goes to a piano to play a passage, sometimes with only one line, sometimes with up to 4 lines, while you just sort of listen and write down what you hear. Third is this thing called part writing, where you're essentially learning to write like you're scheming against the French monarchy.
What's he gonna do? Surrender?
I say this only really half as a joke, as it contains a lot of rules and customs that are no longer found in today's music, but rather instead in 18th century Western European white classical music. Last but certainly not least was sight singing, where you first had to learn to sing, which I always found as kind of whack, as the reason I chose piano instead of voice was because I didn't really think I could sing. But nonetheless, you had to learn to sing, and then you'd be given a piece you've never heard before, and you had to sing it perfectly both with rhythm and pitch. No do-overs and certainly no backsies. And What made this even harder for everyone at my school was that no one really had any experience with any of it. When you think of your normal AP classes, going back to the examples of AP US History or one of the English ones, you tend to have a lot of experience in that subject.
Frick, we gotta learn about US history again? Well, I mean, good thing we've been doing it for like all of school. What? Now we gotta do English now? Well, I mean, I do speak the language.
I mean, for English literature, I remember being able to just goof off and meander in the hallways, as the only new thing about that class was just learning to write a new essay, which even then is still just an essay, but it just has a different checklist this time. But music theory? The only experience I had with that was reading music and listening to music, and that certainly didn't bring much to the table. I mean, it also probably didn't help that I took the exam during the year that must be forgotten. And not during the easy half either, where you spent like most of the school year at school, and then you took the online exam at home because no one really knew what to do. I mean, of course that had like its own problems in it itself, but the actual exam was pretty easy that year. But no, I had to take it where you spent most of the school year at home, sleeping through all your classes, and then take the normal full exam at school. I remember walking in my junior year of high school, well, I mean, not literally, but you get the point, thinking, hey, pretty good at this big box of wood right here. Why not perhaps learn about it, even pursue it in the big house here? Man, was I unprepared. Now, the way it was taught at my school was the first semester was spent completely on learning new content. Content, schmontent, the world galore. How much more cramming will my brain endure? I remember this being like so fast paced that even like when I'd be sick, all snuggled up, cozily in my bed, watching YouTube on my phone, when the time came, I'd still get up, log into Zoom, because I knew if I just missed one class, I'd be forever lost at sea, unable to reclaim that sweet victory. Man, rhyme scheme's on point today. But after the first semester came to a close, the second was spent entirely on working and practicing these different skills. Alright kids, today we're going to learn how to tell what chords are being played. Now, all you really have to do is just do it. Like what? You're some sort of baby who can't tell what a 4 from a 5 chord sounds like? Wow, well doesn't that suck? Maybe you should just give up and go home then. Oh wait, you already are! I remember that the cold theory stuff wasn't too hard for me, but the dictation, well it wasn't great. I mean, it certainly didn't help that I had to learn it through Zoom, which, obvious from the skit, doesn't allow sound to travel very well through there. I mean, it's not like your normal stuff of like, oh, poor internet connection, or teacher has like a bad microphone. It'd be like specific stuff like, oh, the Zoom suppresses constant noises, like, I don't know, the piano being played for the dictation. And so it's also like, oh, the teacher has to completely improvise a brand new, never before seen way to teach dictation. Because quite frankly, the Zoom chat made it a little hard to write in a phrase and get instant feedback from it. Well, I mean, that and I do kind of absolutely suck at dictation. Okay. Everyone has their strengths and weaknesses, right? Some people can memorize the complex details of the human anatomy, earning millions of dollars while saving lives in the process. And I mean, others can get Victory Royale in Fortnite. Just two sides of the same coin, really. I mean, for me, I could easily remember all the cold theory stuff and even not do too bad of a job at part writing. But listening and writing down what someone was playing was my greatest enemy. I don't want to say that the skill is stupid, but I think it's pretty stupid. I mean, there's no real way to learn it besides just doing it over and over and over.
Alright kids, so you're going to have about 4 measures that will just sort of be forcefully crammed in through your ears. And so a strategy you should utilize during this is you should just take a little chunk of it and sort of, once you hear that chunk, mentally just block out everything, no more, just go deaf and write it down in your papers.
Or another strategy would be,
Alright kids, so you're probably not going to get it in the 3 to 4 listens you get to. Hey, I didn't say give up, get back here right now. Another strategy you can use to sort of get your way through it is just memorize it all. Because if you memorize the tune in your head, you can always come back to it later.
that last one was especially stupid, as like there'd be no like time kind of in between to go back to it. It'd be like kind of moving on to the next one, and like, I'm not memorizing 4 different brand new melodies in my head. Like, what? Ain't nobody got the brain capacity for that. I mean, nonetheless, when we finally did go back to school in person and the exam was just like 2 weeks away, I practically locked myself in a closet and just constantly practiced dictation over and over and over.
Question 1. Wrong. Question 2. Wrong. Question 3.
What's the point? They're all gonna be wrong.
Correct. You are wrong.
What? I like to say that eventually I came up on top and could finally do this skill that was going to be 25% of the exam. But honestly, I kind of just didn't. Like, it would be complete luck if I could get most of it right or just none of it at all. A complete gamble. It's almost like they want you to buy some sort of in-app purchase. As if College Board's intentions weren't to help you out, but to extract some sort of, I don't know, currency from you or something? I don't know. I mean, I guess we'll never know. And there's not really any time, you see. The video is getting a little long, so stay tuned for part 2, where I dive into what the exam is really like and how, I mean, none of it, like, really matters. Like, the colleges don't, like, accept it as credit anyway, so, like, what's the point? Yeah, I mean, I don't know. See ya.